In this video, I'm going to show you how to run your own private AI on your computer to help you with your freelance business. So if you've been paying for GenGPD, or if you've run their free version, or even tried other models like Gluotool, or tools that use OpenAI's large language model like Jesper, CopyAI. If you've used these tools and you want to move to something that you run locally on your computer without having to pay a monthly subscription, this video is for you. I already tried recording this video on a Mac while I was running the obviously recording software, had multiple desktops and a few other things open. My computer didn't like it. Everything shut down. I had to restart the video and the recording. So the thing is that if you're running things on an old Mac or an old Windows, you might run into issues. At the same time, if you run a Windows that uses an NVIDIA GPU, and I don't want to get too nerdy and technical over here, but if you're running that kind of Windows computer, you'll probably be very fine, as you will see later on in this video. Before we get into the actual demonstration, you might be thinking, why should I run this private AI on my computer? And there are many benefits to doing so. The first is that it's fast. If you are running it on a proper system, you'll be able to get answers very quickly. You'll see the output generating very fast. You'll just see words flying on screen. Secondly, and maybe even more important for some people, is that it's a private AI. Information you type in with or through the AI chatbot will stay on your computer. You're not sending information directly to OpenAI or to some other corporation. So if you're interested in that, if that is important to you, having your own private AI is something you might want to do. The third thing is that it's run locally on your computer. You don't even need an internet connection to run it. If you're on a plane, if you're in any place which doesn't have an internet connection, you can still chat with an AI offline. So between the speed, data privacy, and offline use, it might be something that you want to go for. With that said, let's jump on the computer and I'll show you how to download it and use it. So before I continue, I just wanted to give a shout out to this video by Network Chuck, because it's the video where I found all the information I needed on how to install and even the knowledge regarding this software. So I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to check it out. And here I also leave a link to this article which compares Ollama, which is the language model we'll be using, versus GPT. This compares it with GPT-3, but in the meantime there's been an update and OpenAI have released a more updated version, so take this with a pinch of salt. At the same time, it's also important to consider one thing. So ChatGPT 4 or GPT-4 has been trained on 1.76 trillion parameters, 2 billion by 8, I believe, yeah. 8 models, yes, 8 models with 220 billion parameters. If we compare that to Ollama, and specifically the model we'll be using, which is Llama 2, it's been trained on anywhere between 7 billion to 70 billion parameters. So that's a significant difference between GPT and Ollama. Just one thing to keep in mind in terms of, one, your expectations. It's also interesting to know. At the same time, it will give you outputs that you can work with. So it doesn't make that big of a difference in the long run, in my opinion. It's also good to know that Ollama has been trained by Meta. Meta decided to train this model and then offer it for people for free. Downloading the model is all about going to ollama.com/download, and on this page you will see the option to choose your operating system. So are you on a Mac, Linux, or Windows? In my case, I'm on a Mac, so I hit download. So if I go to my downloads, I just get the Ollama darwin.zip. I extract that and then I get Ollama. Hit enter a few times, hit next, and then I just start terminal, and this is the screen that you get in the final part of the Ollama installation. So it tells you Ollama, run Llama 2, and that is the input that you will need to put inside the terminal to run Ollama. So if you type in Ollama, run Llama 2, hit enter, that will start the software. And that's pretty much it. So the next part of the video, I'll jump straight to the first part that I was recording before everything crashed, and I'll show you the process I followed and the outputs that I was getting. At the same time, this is the output that I got. So just to recap, I was like, I want to create an outline for an article on how to train your dog. And this is the output it gave. So divide this into different sections: introduction, choosing the right training method, setting up a training area, basics, etc. So quite a detailed outline. And then I said, can you expand on point 2 with more detailed bullet point outlines? Search, well, here's a more detailed bullet point outline for choosing the right training method section. So it figured out that was point 2, and it gave me these. So it said, so positive reinforcement, and then divided them into pros and cons. Then they have punishment based, again, pros and cons, clicker training, and then it went to tips for choosing the right training method. It's interesting that it came up with different training methods, have different approaches and techniques, and it gave me the pros and cons of that, and then it gave me the tips. So quite an interesting point. So now I want to compare the speed on Mac versus the speed on a window running an NVIDIA GPU. So you'll be able to see the difference. And for this, what I'm going to do is use TeamViewer to connect to my Windows. Let me see if I can zoom in here. And basically, this is running on my Windows. So if I say hello, let's see. So you can see the output is quite fast. Give me an outline for an article on how to train your dog. As you can see, it is insanely fast compared to the previous result. It's even faster than other language models like GenGPD, I think. And it's basically generated the outline. Let's see. Let's expand on point with points and subpoints detailed in your output. So I'm just going to write that off screen. For some reason, it's going back up. So it said, let's expand on point 7 with points and subpoints. Positive reinforcement training methods, advanced training topics, basic obedience. I think it recreated the whole outline and then expanded on the point itself. Okay. So let's see if we can take this a step further. Write me 3. For some reason it just keeps going up to the top. Let me just zoom out a bit. So I'm saying, give me 3 paragraphs about staying motivated and consistent. Staying motivated and consistent is crucial for achieving your training goals. It's easy to get discouraged. Set achievable goals. And of course, this is going off screen, but I can just copy that with Control C, which I'm not sure if it translates well since I'm on a Mac running Windows. Let's see if that works. And I'm going to try and yeah. So staying motivated and consistent is crucial for achieving your training goals. It's easy to get discouraged when progress is slow or when your dog doesn't immediately respond to training. But it's important to keep pushing forward. Set achievable goals. Can you rewrite this using shorter sentences? Grade level 8 or below. Use insert a few jokes as appropriate. Of course, here are the paragraphs. Right, let's see. This is key. Don't try to cram all of your training into 1 or 2 sessions. But hey, let's not forget to celebrate small victories along the way. Don't just focus on the end goal. So, as you can see, it is consistent. It's following the inputs that I gave it. And it is producing outputs that I can work with. Not necessarily polished, but then again, none of the AI produce 100% polished articles that you should take and publish. So, this is a different way of speaking or chatting to an AI if you don't want to use the publicly available ones. Now, in this final section of the video, I want to give you 10 ideas how you can use AI as a freelance writer. So, in case you've never used AI before, these ideas will help you get started using AI to its maximum potential. So the first is content brainstorming. When you need to write something, the last thing you want is to get writer's block, staring at that blinking cursor on an empty white page. So speaking to AI will give you ideas for content you can produce. Second is a research assistant. You can ask AI questions to know more about the problems your audience faces. You can get information about what's working and what's not working when it comes to your target market, which will allow you to see the missing gaps and create information to fill these gaps with your content. Number 3, you can also use AI to draft the first version of your writing. Just like you saw me do in the previous section, I asked the AI to create 3 paragraphs about one specific thing. It's the first draft of your writing that you can then go in and edit, polish, and make better. Number 4 is editing and proofreading. When you are creating content, you can also use AI to make the writing better. In my case, I said, let's make this simpler. Let's use shorter sentences. Let's make it a grade level 8 or below. I can also ask the AI to ensure that there are no complex sentences, that it uses, the active voice. There's a lot of things that you can use AI's help with when it comes to making your writing better. Number 5 in the list of things that you can use AI for is SEO optimization. If you have keywords that you want to include in your writing, you can ask AI to include specific keywords in this particular section of the text and make it sound natural. Number 6 is client communication. Sometimes you are emotional about something, right? You want to send that angry email, but before you get enter, first of all, don't send emails when you are angry. It's not a good thing to do. The second is you can write what you're feeling into the AI and then ask it to tone it down to make it more polite, whatever the case might be. Then, again, I would suggest not to send it in that very moment, but leave it a few hours, get back to it, and you'll have something much better that still carries the same sentiment that you can use to send to clients. Number 7 is portfolio management. So you can create a portfolio based on the writing that you have created and ask the AI to organize it into different categories, come up with further ideas how to make it better, new content pieces that you can write to satisfy specific requests the clients gave you. There's a lot of things you can do when it comes to portfolio management. Number 8 is social media content. Getting out there, coming up with ideas, posting new stuff every day or every so often is difficult. You need to not only have the ideas, but to put them in a way that makes sense for the specific social networks. If you're posting content on Facebook, it's different in the format you post it in compared to LinkedIn or compared to Twitter. You can take the same concept, the same foundations, and adapt them to the different social networks. Number 9, you can write ebooks. At the end of the day, ebooks are a collection of articles put together. So if you can write one article, you can write one chapter, you can write one section, you can write one ebook. There's obviously a lot of back and forth in terms of editing and making it better, but you can write an ebook over time using an AI assistant. And finally, there is financial and business planning. Using an AI assistant, you can get ideas of how to save money, how to make more money, and even come up with ideas that help you not just with fulfilling clients, but with actually finding clients, with moving your business forward. You can also analyze different income trends. You can ask the AI for information on how to save on taxes, and obviously always fact check, always double check that the output that you're given makes sense. But there's a lot you can do when using AI in your freelance business. So that's pretty much it. In this video, I showed you how to use your own private AI, how to download it, how to install it, and how to run it. I ran into some issues when I was running it on my Mac, but as you saw on Windows, it runs much faster. And I also gave you ideas how you can use this AI to further improve your freelance writing business. So if you found this video useful, let me know in the comments, hit the like and subscribe button. And in the meantime, check out the link in the description for my checklist that will show you how to get started running your own freelance writing business. I'll speak to you soon.